Welcome to the Fairfield Shellfish Commission, January 13th, 2021 meeting. A call to order and establish a quorum. Present are John Short, Mike Harwood, Deb Detmer, Todd Kenke, Tim Macklin, Sean Cowan. So we have a quorum.
We do.
Are you out there?
Indeed.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Go to Bills and Communications. Approval of the draft meeting minutes of December 9th, 2020. Everyone have a chance to look at those?
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Any changes or corrections?
No.
I had no notes.
Okay. Does someone want to make a motion to approve the minutes of December 9th, 2020?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes for December 9th, 2020.
And I'll second that motion to approve the minutes, Debbie Detmer.
All right, so Todd makes a motion to approve. Deb seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, committee reports. Clam relay and planting. As you know, normal status quo. We'll be planting again in May. Possible relay. As of now, there's still clams out there. A little harder to find, but they're there. Anything else on clam relay or planting?
Nope. Nothing for me.
Nope.
All right. Water and habitat quality. Deb or Mike?
Well, I can do the open and closings if you like.
Sure.
We were open December 13th, and then we closed on December 24th in anticipation of heavy rain. And I don't believe we received all that rain that we expected, only under an inch. So we reopened on December 28th. So the total days closed for 2020 was 114 approximately. And I did go back to 2019, and it looks like for the total closures in 2019, it was approximately 113.
Oh, wow. Pretty close.
Actually, pretty similar. Huh? Yeah, close.
Yes, the weather's been good. I mean, we've missed out on some of these heavy rains that we're supposed to get. So that was just a precautionary closing, mainly because it's very hard to close on the weekends with the email and the notice, so especially on a long weekend. So Joanne had asked if we wanted to, to do it in advance, and I said it was probably a good idea at that time. We really, with the weather and that, we really only closed for one day of good clamming weather. Anything else with water and habitat quality?
None for me, no.
We should probably do some more of that DNA testing if anyone wants to get out there and do it. It would help with knowing what's going on in some of our problem areas.
Do you need to have a boat to do that DNA testing? Or
No, it's simply just walk up and draw some water through a syringe and pump it through a filter.
Oh, and then where do we drop it off?
Drop them off?
Yeah.
Did you say? You just mail it into the testing lab.
Oh. Sounds
Fairly
easy enough.
John, do we have to do that at high tide, low tide? Does it matter?
Normally the testing is all done at low tide, just because that's more of the water that I guess is coming out of the the creeks and rivers and that, like if we're doing it. But if we're doing Tide Mill or, up in the Mill River, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
And who
So
has
if you want
these?
the tide,
Yeah, you already did Southport Beach. We did Southport Beach already, so you want to go further up Mill River and.
right.
Yeah, we've done Southport Beach, so we know that, that's an outflow from Mill River. So
yeah,
I was thinking maybe we work our way from Tide Mill and start hitting some spots up the river to see if some of these numbers go down the further up we go. See if we can sort of narrow it down to an area where we can then determine what's happening, such as septic leakage.
And who has the
Right.
syringes and the?
I have the whole box of testing kits.
Oh, okay.
cool.
So
Do you want to like identify on a map like a number of sites, and then we can like divvy up who does them? Does that make the most sense, or do you think it just?
Yeah, we could get a map together and
Okay.
pick a few sites, and then we can have them at least labeled as what the sites are that we're testing. I mean, it takes literally each to sample, like a Tide Mill, you just sort of reach down in the water and suck it up, put the filter on the syringe, push it through, suck it up, put the filter on until you can't push the water through anymore, and then you throw it in the vial, and that's it. So actually testing the river is really simple.
Yeah. How far do you think you'd want to go up? Like past like Perry's Mill Pond, or like you think more like from?
Thinking maybe we could do so we got Tide Mill, and then I mean we could go as far up as the Uncle Road Bridge, or we could go like halfway up, sort of where the I-95 crosses over. We could probably sample at the end of that road back there.
Yeah, my mom lives on Henderson Road. My mom lives on Henderson, so I can walk down there and sample from right down there.
Yeah, that might be a good spot. And then the next one maybe Umpqua, and then maybe the next one up by Duck Farm. And it keep coming back high, and then we get to a spot where they go low, then we probably know that there's a septic, leaking in that area. So get that together. Maybe we can have some numbers by spring. Because we really want to kind of work on getting Southport Beach opened up.
Yeah.
So I think that's the goal of Mike's and everyone's to maybe, get a few people that work on that Southport Beach reopening or possible opening.
Yeah, that would be great. I think we're going to.
Now, do the samples need to be refrigerated or anything, or when they get mailed?
After the sample's taken, you just keep them in the freezer until they're mailed off.
Okay.
They're really small. It's just a small container. There's a very small filter. So I just throw it in the chest freezer in the garage until I mail it off.
John, do all the samples need to be taken like in one day?
No. It can be taken anytime. We could do it all in one day. I mean, it's probably best to do them in one day. Just make one trip, pull them up the river. They don't have to be. It'll just tell you a snapshot of that section at that time. If we want to do it for like a rain event or something, then we probably we might want to do it in one day. So say it rains over an inch and we want to sample because we know stuff is going to be flowing, then we could knock them all out, and that would be easy if some split up, give everyone or whoever's doing it, one person can go to Tide Mill, another person could hit like Henderson and Umpqua or something.
I can do Henderson and the Sturgis Road Bridge easily.
Umpqua.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah. So maybe in the next next time we're going to get a good rain or something, I'll send out an email or a text and see who's available to make the run and just suck this up. Mike, did you do one with me already, or?
I had done a water quality test with you.
Yeah, I did one with you. We went to Southport Beach. We did Tide meals together. It's like that little like disc filter at the end of the syringe.
Yeah, so you know how to do it.
Yeah. Yep.
And so when you do the samples, basically there's a little mark on the syringe, 200 milliliters. So you just got to keep track of where the sample's from, the date, the number on the vial, and how many milliliters of water that you pump through the filter before it clogs out. So you just keep taking 200 milliliters and pushing it through until it doesn't go through anymore, and then mark off how many milliliters you use. Sometimes it's 200, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. So
yeah, and they just test the filter, right? There's no water. Is there?
Just the filter, no water.
Yeah, there's no water. It's just the filter that they test. So, got it.
I think a non-rain event would tell a better story.
So you should do both. This non-rain event is good too, because if it is leaky septic, that happens every time the toilet flushes. So
right.
Yeah.
And you could get some yard runoff on a rain event.
Yeah, there'd be less dilution, right? With the
yep. All right.
Do you want to do it's been pretty dry. Do you want to try to do one? It's supposed to rain Friday, is it? Or this weekend?
I think it's supposed to rain Friday.
Is it worth trying to get one before Friday? For a dry one and then another one at another heavy rain event?
Yeah.
Someone, if you guys want to go out tomorrow afternoon or something, unless I'll be around Fairfield area tomorrow. If anyone wants to get in touch with me, I can give them the syringe and the vial. Okay. If you want to run down and get a couple samples tomorrow.
Yeah, I got to work until like 4, but there's probably like an hour of a light there. I could probably do it after 4:30.
Yeah, I could certainly do one too tomorrow.
Mhm. All right. All right. Well, so get in touch with me tomorrow. Deb, you don't text, do you?
No, not really.
No. All right. So you'll have to either call me or email me.
Okay.
Email's fine. And I'll let you know what time I'm going to be around the Fairfield area.
Okay.
All right.
I can just so you know, I'll do Henderson Road, the Sturgis Road Bridge, and then if you want, I can do one down like. Do you think it's worth getting?
Duck Pond.
Well, what over there by where Burr Street begins, the pond over there, like by Brookside.
Is that by Southport?
I guess if we did Henderson, if we get it, if we're still getting it at Henderson, then Tide Mill almost becomes moot because we know we're going to get it there. So we can do these 3 spots above, and then redo them again in like a month or something.
Okay.
A few weeks, and see what we get back for results.
Got it.
Sure. All right. So you guys get in touch with me tomorrow, and if you want to go together or whatever, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll text you. Yeah, I'll let you. I'll text you in the morning, and then we'll plan maybe for later in the afternoon. That's cool.
So, hey, John, just thinking this through, I mean, the reason we're doing this is we had, and for the new people on the commission too, is our goal to open up Southport Beach, right, for shellfishing. Yeah. And when we originally did this, we wanted to check, we were finding E. coli samples, and we wanted to find out what these were, where it was coming from, and we did find through other testing that the DNA was human. So that's something that we can control, hopefully, and try and solve. So my question is, if we're trying to open Southport, and we kind of think there's septic leaks nearby, one of the things that we have looked at is that little beach club right on the side of Southport Beach. I'm just questioning why we're going so far up the Tide Mill, why we're going up the Mill River, it would seem to be to try and find where the source is coming from close to Southport Beach. And the thinking is maybe, if it is that beach club, at this time there's nobody there, So I'm hoping that E. coli counts will be lower. And then you have high traffic areas such as like Pequot Yacht Club, which also is very seasonal. So I'm just wondering why we're going so far up the Tide Mill, up the Mill River.
Because a while back, Alyssa had come in and done a presentation to the commission, and we were looking into opening Southport Beach when Bob Billick was the chairman, and there was a test station right outside of Southport Harbor that was the one station that was coming back with negative results. So at the time, this was when we were looking to reopen, to get together the Minot Smith property, which was given to the town of Fairfield, and this is the whole missing lease and all that. And so when we're looking into that, we went over all these stations with Dave Carey, these testing stations, and the one that was coming back bad was right outside of Mill River. And so I guess what happens is they showed a flow study, and as the water comes out of the river, it eddies back around Southport Beach. So there's a and they identified sort of a hot spot in Lower Mill River. So they think that the coliform bacteria that we're getting is possibly coming out of the river, and then when it flows out into the sound, it eddies back around Southport Beach. So there's a high probability that our problem is coming out of the Mill River. Sasko Creek also is an issue, but it's on the far western side of the beach, and it sort of flows straight out, and that water doesn't really mix in with the actual Southport Beach water because it heads off towards Westport. But the Mill River water, there's an eddy, and I don't know if it has to do with the current of Sasko Creek or what, but they think it's the Mill River, so that's why we're going after the Mill River.
Okay.
We can also test Southport Beach at this time too. It wouldn't hurt to also test the beach at this time of year to see if we still get.
But we already tested. We did test Southport Beach, right? Do you remember what those results were? Sasko Creek and.
So we tested Southport Beach. I have the email with the results, and it was in the colder weather, and there was a lot of human. So we had human in there, we had bovine, and we had swine, which doesn't mean that there's cows or pigs. It means that someone ate pork or beef. So that came up in the test. Now, when I talked to the DNA company, I said I'd like them to also check for goose and deer and canine. So they can add those to the test and also retest our old DNA to see if that's in there, because we should probably know what the levels of that are also. Because when the aquaculture test, they don't go after the specific source of the coliform bacteria, just the coliform bacteria. So,
and this testing that we're doing is to find out the DNA of the E. coli. It would show if E. coli is present and the DNA of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Which creature produced the E. coli? So we can test. We can do Southport Beach also. I mean, there's no reason we can't. So if we want to do Southport Beach too, that's fine.
Again, though, that'll be another. Yeah. That'll be a second.
I mean, we could test all the spots every time. It's not that expensive. And so the more samples that go in, it doesn't add a huge amount to the cost if you send them all in one shot. If you're sending samples every other week, that's where the cost builds up, So if we send in four different locations, and we do that say like January 15th and then February 15th, and then send them in after the February 15th test, the cost is less than if we, sent in 2 samples at a time, that kind of thing. So do we want to do Southport also?
I think so.
All right. Okay, so we'll do Southport also. Are you available also, Mike, or?
I'm available.
Hey guys,
tomorrow.
this is Sean. I'm also available. I live right down the street from Southport Beach.
Okay. Why don't we try to, at least Tim's done it, so he knows what to do. Maybe I could meet Mike, Sean, and Deb over at Southport Beach so I can show you guys how to do it, and we'll just go out and get a quick sample. Sound good?
Right.
Yeah, we'll do Southport, and maybe we'll run over to Tide Mill. And Tim will do Henderson and Umpqua.
What time you want to meet? 4:30, 5? Low tide is around that time.
Yeah, low tide is around that time, but it's starting to get dark at that time.
Yeah.
And what's good for Sean and Deb?
I'm pretty flexible.
On that afternoon.
You're good on it or not good, Deb?
No, I am good.
You are good. Okay. Mike, what time?
Yeah, looks like
I'm free. You give me a time, I'll be there.
So I'm the same, and I'm looking tomorrow. It looks like Southport, the low tide is at 6:21. So.
It doesn't have to be dead low, so we can get out there on the jetty or something. If you want to do 4:30.
Sounds good.
All right, so tomorrow, 4:30, Mike, Deb, and Sean will meet me at Southport Beach. Tim, you want to meet us there also to grab the vials and the syringes? Tim? Tim? Can anyone hear me?
Sorry.
I can.
Yeah,
Yep.
Sorry about that. That was on mute.
Oh.
Yeah. No,
Tim,
I might meet
you
you
want
ahead.
me to-
If you're around tomorrow, I'll grab them from you ahead of time. Just because
Okay.
I have to work till about 4:30.
I can try to come meet you, Tim, and help give you a hand then. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take care of the Mill River ones, and I'll text you
All right.
tomorrow morning, John, and figure out a time to grab.
I'll just leave them in a box on my front porch.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Good.
All right, let's move on to permits and access.
It seems
Said
like
Deborah.
so far for 2021, we've sold 29 permits.
Okay.
I'm guessing those are all online. I didn't break down.
So I think just about everything's online because someone called me and said they wanted to get their permit, and I said, well, you can buy it online, or you can make an appointment and go in and buy it at Conservation. And they said they called Conservation. Conservation said you had to buy it online. So it's all online right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a few people come in and been able to, it depends on who's in the office at the time, if someone's available to do it or not. But it's tough when we're closed to the public because they really can't just walk in. So if someone calls, we say it's best if you buy it online just because it's easier.
Right. And we should probably do a few blasts just to let everyone know how to get it online and, if that's how permit sales are being done. So we'll have to figure out how to do that. We could do it on Facebook or we can send out an email.
Probably worth doing it a blast on Facebook for sure, and both. Both.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything with access? I think everything's accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Commercial shellfish regulations? No report?
I don't have anything.
Nothing.
No report.
No report. All right. Oyster bed development. Who wants to start on that?
Mike, you
I
want to
can
go?
start. Yeah, The only thing real development I don't have any updates. The bags are still down at South Benson. They're fine. There are 15 bags hanging out at Yacht Yard. I checked today. That's all I have at the moment.
Okay. Tim, Shell, still any Shell
still
coming in?
Shell, it's a little slow. Yeah, it's definitely slowed down a bit. Yeah. But
I noticed on the Shell
I did notice that
Oyster Bar is not the Oyster Bar anymore.
The one over on Black Rock by Super Duper Weenie?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they stopped putting them out a while ago. Yeah,
it's a different restaurant now. It didn't look like a seafood restaurant, so.
Yeah.
All right.
I do want to note that, like, I did check out over there on Sasco, just kind of like what's going on with the oysters on the east side of the beach there. And the only thing I really saw is stuff kind of growing on rocks and stuff like that. I didn't see anything else. I saw some of the shell that we dropped there, but really just the shell and then whatever was growing on rocks. I don't know if anybody else has been down there recently.
How is the shell holding up that we put in? Is it staying in place or close to place?
It's pretty scattered around, yeah. It's all over the place.
Get some pretty good current there.
I was just thinking that it's just another reason to try to get Southport Beach open, because that might be eventually a better landing place for this stuff.
So we received I don't know if I mentioned this last meeting, but our NDDB permit was approved for our downwellers. So now our application has moved to Army Corps, and Army Corps received the application this week and is working on it. So that's our next step, is Army Corps approval. And then after Army Corps, it goes to Connecticut DEEP. And after their approval, then we're good to go. So I don't think there'll be any issues with Army Corps. Shannon Kelly's been doing some good work with the permits for us, so that's good.
Great.
I talked to Tessa Getchis of Yukon Sea Grant, and I was telling her about the downwellers and that, and she's willing to help us do some things with our oyster restoration, such as like setting out a grid or quadrants and that, and doing some monitoring for us. So, when we get these downwellers going and all our other sources of oysters, I mean, Sea Grant's interested in working with us to see what we can do with some of these oysters we're growing. So I don't know.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so
I think that'd be fantastic. Yeah.
Nice to get some monitoring going where someone, is going to do the research and the research, but all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, John, sticking with the downwellers, I think we need to kind of be aware of when we can purchase these with Hadco. I think when speaking with the sales guy over there, their season starts to pick up around March. So I know when we were looking at purchasing them in the beginning, that they were trying to sell them to us, for last year in December. So just want to kind of get an idea of when do you think it's appropriate for us to kind of take the next step, on actually going through the logistics of buying it, what we need to do here in town, who needs to approve it, how we purchase it, and then, if we're going to go pick them up or have them delivered. I think we save about $600 if we pick them up.
Right. So maybe I should put an email into Dave Carey and see what our probability is on getting these next two permits. It's probably high probability, so if he says, yeah, it's a high probability, then I say maybe we go ahead and make the purchase. Yes, we wouldn't want to have 6 fish boxes, though, if we can't get the permit.
Right.
I mean, they're fine. I guess storage. I mean, if they're fine to sit outside, right? So if we left them at conservation, like over there by the
live outside
the trailers.
How many years?
Yeah, exactly. So we could just leave them next to the cleanup near where our trailer is over at conservation, and just line them up next to one of the trailers. Should be fine. If we need to buy them before March, you're saying, John? I mean,
and they're insulated too. They're insulated, so I could have one over here as a hot tub for a little while.
Let's do that.
Sounds like a plan. I like that.
And if we have a meeting and everyone's in their own individual heated box.
Yeah.
Go by. You got to make sure that they're watertight, right? It's a watertight test. Where do you need to pick them up from?
So they're out of Bedford, New Bedford.
New Bedford. Okay. All right. I assume we would save a lot of money if we went up and picked them up ourselves.
Yeah. So
$600.
I can probably borrow a truck.
I mean, I could.
We obviously have to pay for fuel, so we're probably looking at back and forth, $100 and change in fuel, $100 for fuel. So I'm sure I could borrow a truck though.
And just remember, they weigh 230 pounds each.
All right, so the truck I borrow.
Okay. And what are the dimensions again? They're 4x4.
They're approximately 4x4 by 4.5 high.
Got it. Okay.
So they would fit in a 24-foot truck, which is what I'd be able to get. I have pallet jacks and stuff like that, so getting them on the truck wouldn't be.
Yeah, how much do they weigh a piece?
240.
You said 240?
That's nothing.
Got it.
Okay. So I have a pallet jack, and they probably come with pallets, so that's not an issue. It's just let me email Shannon Kelly and Dave Carey tomorrow and see if it's high probability, and I'll tell them, listen, we have to start purchasing things, and there's a process, and we don't want to waste our money. So see if it's probably going to be it.
No trip.
And then I talked to Norm Bloom again. I happened to do a job for him, and he said anytime we want to come down and check out his stuff, we can go down there. So
sweet. We'd love to do that.
He actually purchased Brown's Marina in Stratford, so they're selling oysters and clams and stuff out of there. But all right, anything else with oyster bed development? Oh, I got another thing. So when I was doing the job at Brown's Marina, the woman that works there, her son has done some work for Norm Bloom with his drone and sort of mapped out things in Norwalk Harbor and that. So I was wondering, what do you guys think about possibly getting a drone to fly over, say, Ash Creek and Mill River at low tide to see what kind of areas we have in there? I know we can look at it from the shore and see, but you can't really walk in it. You can't walk in it. And
let's do it.
So we'd be able to see what oysters are growing, where we could possibly plant shell, things like that. We probably have to pay the guy for use of the drone or whatever, and I mean it can't be that $100 or something, probably.
Well, it's all video footage.
Ask him to work up a price, and then he can do a little video for us. Is that a good idea?
I think so.
You could probably fly over Southport Beach also. Southport and Sasko at a good low tide, and maybe we could see in the winter the water's clear. We might feel what's going on down there.
Yeah. Can we see what he's done so far, just so we can
Sure.
Does he have a website or anything that we could check out?
I'll find out.
Okay, cool.
On the note of doing this job, also the woman that works there knows the director for the Norwalk Marine Sciences program at the high school there. So that's another source of the director wanted me to give her a call, let her know what we're doing. They may be interested in helping us with some things or just coming down and learning about what we're doing. So there's some educational stuff right there that has to do with these downwellers.
Great.
Anyone else got anything on oyster bed development?
Nope.
All right. Communications, Deb.
Sure. Well, I'm working on a spring edition that will go out probably March or April, the newsletter. And I know during the last meeting we had chatted about taking over the information line for the shellfish beds when they're closed or open, but we did hear back from Betty, Town Hall, that the MOU doesn't allow me to do it. It does have to come from the Conservation Department, so
right.
I won't be able to take that over.
Right. In your newsletter, I have a good thing that you could put in there about the life cycle of a hard clam.
You have information on that?
Yeah, I'll send it over to you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And just
and
change
anyone
the
else
word.
that have anything that they'd like to put in it.
So when I send it to you, it's about the life cycle of a hard clam in New Jersey. Just change that to Connecticut.
Okay.
All right. I'll send that to you. Facebook, I've been updating the open and closed. That's about it. I don't think I've really posted much on there. If anyone has anything, I think you're all admins. You can go on there and post or send it to me.
Great.
All right. Conservation Department. We got a shellfish fund balance of $32,356. Pretty good balance. Permits, 345 last year. This year, 29. Closure period. That went over that. Shellfish Commission budget status. That went in as the same budget. I signed the letter. We added in a few, that we're doing a little more work possibly with these downwellers and oyster bed development. That was the only changes. Some things with the boat that need to be, the boat needs to be painted and the motor needs to be fogged or whatever, things like that. So that was then we go to old business, budget request, new business. Do we have any new business?
No.
No, nothing with me.
No.
No. All right. Informational 2021 Gathering of the Shellfish Commissioners, February 13th, 2021. This is a virtual gathering.
I was going to ask you, it's virtual?
Yeah, so in the agenda, if you go pretty far back into the attachments, there is a letter here, an agenda and registration details below. Da-da-da. So, I don't know. I guess we have to still register, right?
Yeah. It was...
The attachment's not that good.
No. I tried to... That's how I was...
So, but it's February 13th. So anyone that wants to do this probably just has to let Betty know. I think it's normally, from 9 to 2 o'clock. Obviously, they're not providing lunch this year. But it's probably good informational stuff. Find out what the other commissions are doing. And it's normally on a Saturday. I think, Saturday the 13th. So I'd say anyone that wants to join the meeting can email Betty at Conservation Office.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Other.
Hey, John, do you know if they're going to tape that so that you can just, pull it up at will?
I think they do tape it so that it can be pulled up.
Okay.
I'm not sure if last year's was. I thought it might have been, but if it's a virtual meeting, I think there'll be a link so that you can.
Yeah.
I'll email Tessa and find out.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so other is these committees we got. We gotta get them together, because we have some new people, and we need to reset the committees. So like clam relay and planting, right now I'm on it and Tim's on it. And then you see like water and habitat, it's Deb and Mike.
I'll go on it. Yeah.
Term access is Deb. So what do we want to do? Clam relay and planting. I guess I'll stay on that. Tim, do you want to stay on that?
I'll stay on it.
Todd, I'll join it.
All right.
Stay on it. That's what I've been doing, correct? Yeah. I'll grunt.
Oh, there's not much that we really
and
do.
Who is that talking now?
So it's John Short, Tim Macklin, Todd Kinky.
Todd.
Water and habitat quality. We have Deb Detmer and Mike Harwood.
I'll still stay on it.
John, I could be relieved of that one. I'd rather be more towards the oyster development and see if we're going to do another committee. So I can, Sean or Todd.
All right, take Mike from that and put Lizette Enhofer on that.
Okay.
Permits and access. Deb, you're on that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could. Does anyone else want to be on permits and access? There's not much to that.
It's fine if it's just me.
But Lizette,
I'm happy to help out.
Okay.
All right, so Detmer and Enhofer, permits and access. Commercial shellfish regs. We got Mike Harwood, Tim Macklin, and Sean. You want to go on that?
Yeah, I'll go wherever you need me. Yeah.
All right. So Sean Cohen on that. Oyster bed development. We got Short, Harwood, Macklin.
Kinky.
Yeah, I'll stay on that.
Do we want to add someone else to it, or?
I would join, definitely, if you need me.
Yeah. Put Todd on that.
I feel like there's a lot of work. Yeah, a lot of work going on there. More people, the better.
Yeah. There's a lot of talking, eating. Oyster bed or communications. We got Deb Detmer.
Yeah. Hey, John, just got a question on the oyster bed development. As we have the downwellers coming on, are we going to keep that as oyster bed development as well, or do you want to do like a subcommittee on that? Do you want to do it a separate committee?
Let's add a committee. All right. So we'll add it after communications. Okay. So communications, Detmer and Sean Cohen.
Sure.
All right. Now we're going to do a seventh committee. And what are we going to name? What are we going to call it? It's not oyster bed development. What is it just going to be?
I mean, it's oyster hatchery or oyster.
Onshore development? I don't know.
Yeah, we could just call it the project. Mike, you got a name?
The South Benson Project.
I actually didn't think of a name. I mean, the Downwellers. But I think it does more than that. You know? I think there's more to it, you know.
We're coming up with a lot of good Netflix shows, but we need a name for the committee.
What looks good on a T-shirt?
The
Downwellers.
Downweller Committee.
An oyster falling down a well.
We'll just call it Downwellers for now.
All right.
So Sarah, you got that 7th committee, which is going to be, or Deb, Downwellers, and it's going to be Harwood, Short. Who else wants to join it?
I mean, I'm happy to be on it.
I'm happy to be on it, too.
Who said I'll join it?
Tim,
Sean.
Todd, and Sean.
And Sean.
All right.
Hey, John,
I feel
would
like
you want to?
in tandem.
Go ahead.
John,
Mike.
would you want to do another committee on opening the Southport?
Oh, yeah, that's
I think
the one we wanted. So
I think we need to start, focus on that one.
So that can go under permits and access.
Yeah.
What do we have under permits and access right now? Detmer and
Deb and
And Lizette.
All right. Who wants to head up the Southport reopening work? Mike?
I'd like to be in that one. Yeah.
All right. So put Mike under permits and access, and in parentheses, Southport Beach.
And anybody else besides Mike?
Now, if anyone wants to join.
Would Sean being right there?
Yeah.
Sean, would you want to?
Absolutely, I'm right here.
Okay.
All right. So put Sean with Mike, Southport Beach, under permits and access as a subcommittee of the committee.
Yep.
So I guess it would be number 3 is permits and access, and then 3A would be Southport Beach, Harwood, and Cowan.
Yep.
All right. So on Downwellers, we got a committee of 5.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you got that all written down, Deb? You want to read it off?
Sure. Well, on communications, it's me and Todd, or Todd and I. Is that how we say that?
No, it's you and Sean.
Oh, and Sean. Okay, that's the only one I.
All right, so read off from 1 through 7.
Okay, so clam relay and planting is John Short, Tim Macklin, and Todd. Is it Coning? The last name, Todd? How do you say it?
Yeah, it's Kaneki. Is this on mute?
Kaneki? Okay.
Yep, Kaneki.
And then we
Whatever
have water and habitat quality is Deb Detmer and Lizette and Hoffer. Permits and access is Deb Detmer and Lizette and Hoffer with a permits subcommittee of the Southport Beach reopening is Mike Harwood and Sean Cowan.
Yep.
Commercial shellfish regulations is Mike Harwood, Tim Macklin, and Sean Cowan. Oyster bed development is John Short, Mike Harwood, and Todd Kinke. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name right. Kinke?
It's okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And communication.
They all work and love it.
Is Deb Detmer and Sean Cowan. And then we have the Downwellers, which is John Short, Mike Harwood, Tim Macklin, Todd, and Sean.
All right, and throw Tim Macklin onto oyster bed development also.
Okay. Sarah, you got all that?
I got it all.
Nice work.
Thank you.
All right. Is everyone good with that, committees? Everyone feel like there's enough
Works
for them
for
to
me.
do?
Sure.
Too much for them to do? All right.
Plenty of work.
Bring it on.
And you guys realize we are volunteers. You know, this isn't a job or anything. If you feel like you're overwhelmed, just let someone know. All right? All right. No public tonight. Anyone else have any other?
Well, I know it's
the only thing
early. Oh, go ahead, Tim.
No, go ahead, Deb. Go ahead.
I know it's a little early, but I know in Westport we've already been talking about the Memorial Day Parade. Has there been any thoughts on that? Or
I think
nothing
it's going
yet?
to be canceled, but
Yeah, nothing yet then.
yeah, my thought is that nothing's going to happen this year. So
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, same. I assume same with the Clam Clinic. I think that's probably not going to
Happen.
happen. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
But maybe.
it's in the budget. So
Got it.
So Tim, what did you have?
Oh, just again, I brought it up last meeting. The Ash Creek Conservation Society has also monthly meetings in Bridgeport, and they were looking for us to kind of possibly join one of the meetings. I'm just waiting on when their next meeting is, and anybody who wants to join, I'll send out the invite when I get it. And they just kind of wanted to talk about a little bit more about what we're doing in Ash Creek with our oyster development and our oyster SPAC collectors and all that. So I'll just keep you guys posted on when that's going to happen.
All right. Yeah, I'd like to go be involved in one of the meetings. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else, we're going to have to adjourn the meeting.
Sure. We'll just see you tomorrow at 4:30.
All right,
Yeah.
well, we have to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Oh,
All right,
got
so
it,
Deb
Deb.
makes the motion and Tim seconds the motion. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Alrighty, thanks.
Good night.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye now.
Bye.
Good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Thanks, there.